feel like your mother. To be going, oh, Benjamin, you should be eating. You're wasting away.
Oh, I was trying to work out why you would feel like my mother.
I want to spank you.
I was thinking in a previous sketch, you're not talking about shagging mothers or anything, are you, for heaven's sake? No, I'm looking
a bit... You look incredibly trim.
I have been working... I'm not actually very trim at all, because I've done my back in. I even had an MRI scan before they let me get on the plane. I seem to have slipped a disc of some sort, but I'm going through the agony, obviously, to see you and to get my plug, obviously.
Which, of course, we will do. Now, every time I say welcome back to you, I feel like I should be saying welcome home a little bit, because you are back and forward. You're married to an Aussie.
Indeed. Well, as you said in your rather beautifully put together, and many thanks to your production team introduction.
I have nothing to do with it, but
it was fantastic. I like that, actually. No, I'm as we've often discussed, I was very honoured to be granted Australian citizenship, so I have dual nationality, because Sophie's Australian. In fact, she's just got her pom hood as well.
Oh, the poor thing.
Well, you know, it just makes it a lot easier in the queues at airports, you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
But we haven't been back and forth. We've been living in Britain for the last 5 years. The kids have been at the local school in Sussex, but we are going to swap that around, and we're going to relocate back to Australia and live in Freo for a while. Being an international citizen of the world with a carbon footprint the size of God knows what, I shall be still going back and forth to Britain and America, but we're going to be based in Australia.
Now, I notice when you write your novels, and keep you happy, don't attack me, even though you're a little man with glasses.
Look, you don't get paid, you want your plug.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You know? But, I'd watch you, but I don't have to be on it. You know?
You always like getting in references to Aussie stuff. I know in previous novels you've mentioned fine Australian wines, and this one you've got an
Australian wine.
AC/DC reference, I noticed.
Pretty much Akadaka part of everybody's life.
The nanny of the main character is teaching the kid Akadaka.
Well, it's the book is about a group of people in London who've had an incredible 90s and noughties. They've had it all the money, and suddenly they get credit crunched, and they suddenly have to very quickly readjust in a couple of cases to real poverty. And living without the nanny, etc. And of course, I draw a beautiful comedic picture of the nanny without whom they could not do until they have to do without. And of course, it being a nanny in Britain, she's an Aussie. She's a spunky Aussie who's got God knows how much energy, and she's going to climb Everest for charity and marry a cricketer, and then she's into a heavy Aussie rock. And yes, she gets the kids into a bit of Akadaka, a bit of oils. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
I'm kind of a 70s and 80s Aussie rock man. Obviously, love a bit of hooks.
The Skyhawks.
I know. I was in Australia when Shirley died. I remember that. That was terribly sad. But let's not mope. Not too sure about you. Talking about Akadaka, I wasn't too sure about your Bon Scott gag. No, the Bon Scott gag. Yeah, I wasn't. But anyway, loving it. You know,
What's happened now?
Wasn't it a gag about waking up Bon Scott? Wasn't it? I thought that was.
We put words in her mouth. We put words in her mouth.
A little bit chaser. You know what I'm saying?
She does have to pee into a cup before every show, though. That part is true. That part is true.
I just volunteer for that.
Do you think...
Normally I only go to websites to get that kind of thing.
With the novel based on these characters that have had to deal with the financial crisis, do you think, like, seeing what's going on in the world at the moment, do you think people have actually learnt anything from what they've had to go through at the moment?
It's staggering. I mean, it's like a collective amnesia. Clearly, the financial system, I mean, money is based on an invention. It clearly has no value, particularly since it's not backed by gold as it used to be. So we all agree, we will all accept the value and swap goods for it. And that's fair enough, but obviously once you get into this extraordinary world where money takes over and people are using money to make money and usury becomes almost unknowable, it's a house of cards. And the moment anybody says, hey, the emperor's naked, there is no money to back up all this money that's growing. The economy's grown, they're richer today than we ever were. We're 4% than last week, 5% than the week before. Where's the money come from? There's no extra crops, there's no more water in the rivers, it's an invention. And clearly, if anyone shouts, the emperor is naked, there is no money, then everything collapses. Now, within reason, we want to keep that pretence up, but unfortunately, what we used to think was that the common people didn't understand money. You know, you watch the bit about money at the end of the news, you go and make a cup of tea, of course. But we thought the people who ran the financial system did get it.
Yes.
What we now have learned is that they don't understand it either. And that was the terrible crisis, the sudden realisation that, you know, the complexities of the derivatives and the hedge funds, etc.,
and the fact that when everyone starts to go, it looks like there's a bit of trouble, and they go to the banks and say, well, I might take my money back, thank you. And the banks go, we don't actually have it.
We don't have the money because we lend it to somebody. Lend it to somebody who traded in crops that have not yet been grown by farmers that probably have not yet been born, using money that will never exist.
I went to the bank the other day to get a statement out. It just had IOU on it.
Well, my problem with the bloody Australian economy, and Howard's claiming credit, he's saying it was all us that kept it all strong.
An ex-Prime Minister loves to come out after the fact and just condemn the current administration.
He certainly doesn't say anything good was all my doing. But I'm a little cheesed off because I earn in sterling, you see, and the Aussie dollar's gone crazy. You lot go to London now, you get pissed for $1, you know. It's destroyed 55 cents. It was 38 a couple of years ago. So me, as somebody earning sterling, living in Oz, I'm bollocks, mate. I may have to tap you up for dinner tonight.
Well, good.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It was a tapping reference. It could have got really ugly, but we've moved on. Hey, Ben, are you ready? Speaking of, for your public probe.
I think
Enormously so.
I want to be...
You want to be probed?
I want to be probed first publicly, and then privately.
Absolutely.
So
but first, Ben, stop. Hammer time!
That is a very cool man. So literally, naturally cool.
I know. He's not even trying.
I know.
Sophie from New South...
trying.
He walks like that everywhere.
Sophie from New South Wales wants to know, Ben, have you ever been mistaken for anyone?
Andrew Denton. A couple of times.
Yeah, right.
Him more than me. When he goes to London, people say, he went up, but yeah, a couple of times.
There you go. Scott from WA. If you could change any part of your body, what would you change and why?
Well, I'd probably quite like a slightly smaller knob, you know, just so I could... so I could get through revolving doors, you know.
Hey.
Dragging it along, you know, it gets caught in the... You know...
It's a good life, let me tell you.
Exactly.
You'll have a lot of fun.
It was an open goal of a question for a knob game.
Charlotte from Queensland, what's the biggest thing you've ever eaten?
Actually, do you know, God, it's for the first time in my life, I can't think of anything remotely interesting or funny to say. I don't know, a very large chop. I don't eat huge, large things particularly.
Good,
so,
that's good.
Thanks, Charlotte. Was it from Queensland?
Shyla.
She is a
Sheila from Queensland. The new book, Meltown, it's in stores now. Ben Elton, thank you very much, my friend.
Very good to see you. Always a pleasure.
Stay with us.